Well, we are live. Hello and welcome everybody to another wonderful Social Saturday chat. We are blessed to have these wonderful people with me. Thank you, Joel, Martha, Felipe, and the man who's been missing in action, but so glad to have him back here, Mr. Z, Mr. Positivity. So glad to have you all back here. And this week we have an exciting topic. One that I think is vital and we should definitely be having more often. Welcome to those that are joining us. We have Jairus, Melissa, Bill, Mr. William Rochelle. Welcome to the audience, my folks. So good to have you all here and looking forward to seeing where this conversation goes. So without a further ado, I'm going to hand the mic to the man whose topic it is today, just to introduce himself and bring some positivity to the stage and get the ball rolling. So, Mr. Z, over to you, my friend. Welcome.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Mark. Thank you so much, Felipe. Thank you so much, Joy. And also, Martha, I think you just dropped off. Well, it's always a privilege to be here for me, it's a cool Saturday evening. It's raining currently, like a rainy cat and dog. And it's 5:02 currently where I am in West Africa, Nigeria. And for me to be here again in the midst of amazing people, positive people, exciting people, it's a privilege I do not take for granted. And I want to say happy Saturday. It's the first Saturday of the month of June. And this is the first edition for the month. And we are talking about a very important topic, why successful people seek guidance. I believe that it's going to be an amazing conversation today. And one thing we love about this conversation is we have different perspectives from different people sharing their experiences, people sharing their journey in life, sharing their stories, and how these are able to impact their life. For me, as much as I'm on the stage going to speak, I'm also a learner. I'm very well seated with my notebook and pen to be able to learn from amazing individuals joining us from all over the world. Please keep dropping the comments. Tell us where you are joining us from so that we can be able to shout you out and let our global audience know that you are here with us. You know one thing I love about the Social Saturday chats? We are like a family. We support each other. We are here for each other. And we always show up for each other. And that's what community is all about. It's about you, it's about me, it's about every one of us. Because at the end of the day, together, we can do so much more and to make more impact, to achieve more success, to reach out to more people, and and get the conversation going as season. So for me, I'm looking forward to having more persons join us on stage. The link will be dropped in the comment section. For as many persons you want to be part of the conversation, you want to join us on stage, feel free to join in. We're so excited to hear your perspective and your insight. One thing I will always say is, it does not matter who you are, it does not matter where you're from. Your story is unique, your perspective is unique, and there are thousands of people out there who are waiting to hear what you have to say. So get ready to join us in the conversation, and we know that it's going to be an empowering one because you are here with us. So for those who don't know me, my name is 𝗪𝗪𝗦, your Mr. Positive Energy, a man on a mission to spread positivity to every corners of the earth, one person at a time. We live in a season where people go through so much. People are experiencing tough times in their life. But to be able to have a positive mind, not just having, but having somebody to help you, to nurture you, to take you by your hand, to remind you as an accountability partner of the need for you to stay positive in the midst of the challenges, in the midst of the tough time. It's not negotiable. It's something that you need to embrace in this time and in this season. So that's what I do. You want to embrace the power of positivity intentionally? Feel free, reach out to me. And I also host online event like this, just like this, to help people amplify their voices, put them in front of their target audience, and teach you how to do online events and how to reach out to more people. So that's that about me. I'm excited. I'm happy to hear about what my other co-hosts, have to share, and so that we can also get to know them. So I'll pass the mic to Mr. Felipe, so you can go ahead, introduce himself, tell us what he does and how he helps people. So Mr. Felipe, the mic is yours.
Well, thank you, Zion. And it's so great to have you back. It's been way too long, and it's just like, it's having like a family member come back after being away for like a long time, and it's just great to welcome you back. I know that smile brings a smile to so many other people's faces, including mine. So it's always a pleasure to see you. And this topic, obviously, I think is important, because no matter who you look at, I don't care if it's from Jeff Bezos or to your supervisor, everybody has challenges and needs help, okay? And everyone seeks help and guidance from others. Let me rephrase that. The intelligent people seek guidance and help from others because they know that they don't know everything. And that's why when you have people that you hear about, leaders surrounding themselves that are different than them, it's because they value different perspectives and guidance. But as a executive coach who's done coaching for 23 years and someone who's been an executive for 23 years, you think that I wouldn't need coaching? Oh God, yeah. I'm gonna need coaching the rest of my life, hands down. Maybe a little therapy too, who knows? But the point is that the coaching is something that no matter how strong or how good or how great everything you think is, there's always opportunities for you to work on those areas that you need to improve on. And sometimes you need that guidance or help. And so I always encourage people, it's a sign of strength to recognize when you need that help or guidance. And it is not a sign of weakness. I'm not saying you need to publicize it to everybody. Oh, I have a coach or I have a therapist. It's up to you. That's your business. But don't let that fear stop you from doing it. As far as introductions, for those I have not met, I'm Felipe Cofino, been an HR exec for 25 plus years, founder of Cofino Consulting, where we provide training, recruiting, compliance, auditing, and culture services. I always like to say that we'd like to take your current culture and organization from good to great and help you do that in a way that helps everyone succeed. And I'm also the best-selling international children's book author of Backyard Adventures with Miranda Max. And I'm about to do a post about that upcoming next book that's coming out. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that I am a LinkedIn top voice, which I take very seriously because that's where stuff like this matters. The content that we're sharing on this show or any other show that I'm on, I want to make sure that we put out valuable stuff that you can take away and say, I learned something today, or I met someone new today, or you know what, I'm not alone today, and other people are dealing with what I'm doing. So that's our hopes. I hope you all find something valuable. Let me know in the chat what you have taken away from this show in the past. I'd love to hear some takeaways you've had because that's something that we always want to know. Are you finding valuable so we can keep on giving you that content. With that, I want to see if my friend Martha is, okay, I never know if Martha's this way or this way. I'm going to go guess it. She's this way. Am I right? Is Martha over there? All right, Martha, over to you if you're available.
Yes, thank you so much. Hi, friends. Happy Saturday. I hope everyone's having a great Saturday this morning. So wonderful to see your beautiful smile, Zion. It's so great to see you, brother. And of course, Mac, Joel, Felipe, great to see you, and all the friends in the comments. I'm having my coffee this morning. It has been one of those weeks. Graduations, Grandpa was in the hospital, still in the hospital, and Teddy is asking for treats now. For friends that don't know me, I'm the founder of Connect Impact Hub. I've been in a leadership role for the past almost 3 years. and I'm really excited about what I do every day, serving the in-house and also low-income families on a national level. And I'm gonna put myself on pause and I'll pass it over to, I'm not sure what's next. I'll be back.
Over to you, Joel.
And about 1 second, which I won't get back. Hey everyone, my name is Joel, and I am, although everyone probably knows me over here, I am the founder and CEO of 𝗪𝗪𝗬, specializing in helping people, neurodivergents and every weird and wonderful person unlock their creativity in the most in their own way. So this topic is very important to me, especially. I think at least 3 of the people on the stage do constantly guide me anyway. So and several more in both personal and business life as well. So I'm looking forward to this conversation as well. Mac, I think it's over to you.
Well, I just wanted to check if Teddy had anything else to add before we... Copper's in the room too. My goodness me. I'm outdogged today. Incredible stuff. Hey, folks. Well, welcome and excited for this topic. My name is 𝗪𝗪𝗬 I run a company called Absolute Link, which trades as the LinkedInExpert.com, where we effectively help you become the go-to expert here on LinkedIn within your niche and your business. And if you look at the little thing just below my name over there and you go to that link, you'll now be able to download a personalized guide that is going to help you make sense of this wonderful platform that is LinkedIn. It's called the 𝗪𝗪𝗬 Growth App, and it is finally live after months and many, many hours of trying to get it to serve you best. So go and check it out. If you do want 2 months free, just comment 2 months free in the comments, and I'll send you a special link. Today's topic, why successful people seek guidance, is so important because of the fact that I've learned, and I used to be what I call a personal development junkie, where I was going to far too many personal development events, listening, taking notes, but not taking action was the biggest challenge. And one of the things that I found is even the top leaders in the world have somebody that they can bounce off and reflect off and get feedback from. And picking those people, you have to be very selective on who you choose. I know somebody commented in the comments earlier about making sure you understand what the ulterior motive is for the person that you are going to be dealing with and asking for help. But because this is Zion's topic, I'd love to get your insights as we open this conversation as to what are your guidelines when it comes to seeking people out for that guidance, in order for us to stay growing and progressing through life, as opposed to where some of us, including myself, go through that vicious cycle of rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. So over to you, my man. Let me know what your thoughts and comments are on this, and let's get the ball rolling. If you want to join the conversation, the link is scrolling across the bottom.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mark. I guess you can hear me, right? All right. Thank you so much for the thumbs up. Wow, it's a profound topic talking about why successful people seek guidance. Now, it's a reminder for us to know that guidance, it's wisdom. For us to seek guidance as a person, it is wisdom. And it doesn't matter the level you've gotten to in life, there is more to know. In my journey as an entrepreneur, I had to realize that no matter how successful you are, all you know is not all there is to know. And no man is an island of knowledge. for any person who is on a pathway to grow, for any person who's on a pathway to get better every day, there is need for us to have more knowledge, to have more wisdom, to have more guide in navigating our life. So you might think you have come to the apex of this particular field, but that field is not all there is to life. There's still more to do. So for me, when it comes to seeking guidance and asking for direction, asking for opinion, asking for suggestion, about any particular thing, what do I look at for? For me, I look at the person who are actually aligned with my vision. Because if people are not aligned with what you're doing, what advice can they give you? If people are not aligned with your vision, with your mission, with your value, what advice can they give you? So for me, one thing I look at for is, if I want to seek advice or seek guidance, the question I ask myself is, does this person reflect the kind of life I want? Does this person reflect the kind of value that guides my life? Does this person reflect the kind of belief system that I have? So when I look at this criteria, it really helps me to be able to choose who I seek guidance from. And I love the comments, earlier on that said, be careful of the people you seek guidance from, because some persons might have ulterior motive, which is very, very important. We live in a world where competition it's like everywhere. People are competing with each other, mentors competing with mentees, things happen. But at the end of the day, one thing I've learned is, differentiating the message from the messenger. It's not everything that comes in you take. Yes, there might be 1,000 words spoken, but in 1,000 words, which word actually resonates with you? Actually solve the problem, or actually aligns with what you are trying to do. A lot of people, when seeking guidance, as much as by the messenger in quotes, for some persons, they might not be physically be there to share with us what they need to share. But one thing is, what are the message they're sharing with you? So for me, one thing I look at when it comes to this regard is separating the message from the messenger. What solution does the message bring into your life? It's very, very important, because in the multitude of words spoken, all the multitude of words, all cannot be rubbish, all cannot be nonsense. So the ability for you to be able to filter the advice from people is key. Tailor it to you. In all that was said, how does this resonate with me? So in doing that, it's really helped me to be able to pick out the message I need from the advice of people, because at the end of the day, it's not all the words spoken that are for you. In the 100 of words, just 5 words or 10 words can be for you. So the ability for you to carefully analyze the words that are for you is very, very important. When you look about seeking for advice, the truth is, when you seek for advice, like Mr. Felipe said earlier, it's not a sign of weakness. It's not a sign that, oh, I don't know what to do. It's a sign that you are strong. Because at the end of the day, life is not a solo sport, it's a team sport. It's a sport that we all grow together. It's a sport that we all achieve greatness together. And it becomes much more easier when we work together, when we bounce ideas off each other, when we bounce creativity off each other. It makes it much more easier. It makes the journey much more effective and efficient for you to navigate. Instead of trying to figure it all out by yourself, imagine you are getting ideas from Felipe, from Martha, from Joel, from Mark, and we are putting all the ideas together. It saves me time and it saves me energy. For anyone who wants to grow, for as much as you've attained success before, you've attained greatness before, there is still that place for growth. Because at the end of the day, life is a journey and not a destination. The more you go on this journey, the more there are opportunities for you to learn. And for any place you want to be, there are people who are already there. Now, I always say this, for any room you want to be, for any height of success you want to be, there are people who are already there, who have gone ahead of you. But the ability for you to learn from their experiences without having to make the mistakes they made, it's very, very important. It's good for the journey of growth. So for me, when it comes to seeking advice, like I said earlier, I'm always looking forward to persons who align with me. For me, I'm a positive person, and if I'm going to seek for guidance and advice, I would definitely walk up to someone who I've seen, who have been tested, who have been proven to be positive. I cannot walk up to somebody who's always negative, who are always seeing the bad, the things that are not working out in life. So for me, I always look at, okay, how does this person model his or her life? Or how has this person proven to be in alignment with my vision, with my values, or my goals in life? So I said, okay, if this person is a positive person, then it's a sign that I can actually go to this person to seek for advice. So seeking for advice to me is something that we all need to embrace. Like I said earlier, life is a journey and not a destination. And there's always room for growth. There's always room to improve. And if you can learn one or two from anybody, why not? Because at the end of the day, it helps make you better on your journey, helps makes you wiser, and help you to make a better choice in life as you go. So for me, that's my take on this, and I believe that there's so much thought. And I know we because of time, we are always looking at time so that more persons can get the opportunity to share, to give us their insight on their experience concerning this topic on why successful people seek advice. So in the meantime, Mark is not on screen. I'll pass the mic to Felipe so he can also share with us his thought on this, even as we invite more persons to get us on stage and be part of this conversation.
Well, thank you, Zion. You definitely have sparked some great conversation in the chat because you really touched on a lot of important parts about seeking guidance, from everything from making sure that there aren't ulterior motives to boundaries. I just want to welcome some people that have been here. Obviously, we had Gregory and Meryl and Kenny. Thank you for always being such great supporters. We had Jay. Great to see you, my Marvel and Jedi friend. And Kenny, yes, Copper doesn't want to be left out. So when he heard Teddy barking, he's like, what's that? Where's it coming from? But he can't see the screen. Some dogs can see screens. My dog cannot. And Melissa Houston's here, my partner in crime. Always great to see you here. Rosemary, thank you for joining us as always. And Max here. Thank you for joining us, Max. It's great to see you in the comments. But back to the point, join us on stage. The link is in there. If you have not forgotten, or if you have forgotten to, don't forget to follow us on our LinkedIn homepage. Just go there, give a quick follow. We have over 1,000 followers. It's a great place to network and connect with a lot of wonderful people from all over the world. But do one more favor. After you hit follow, go to the top right-hand corner and hit that little bell so that you can get notified of all the events that everyone does on the show, not just the Saturday chat, but all the other wonderful events that people do throughout the week. As far as this topic here, going back to what Zion was sharing, someone made a comment about what's the ulterior motive for doing it for free? And that's such an important question because I got that asked a lot for like good 8 years that I was offering free coaching, free advice. At one point I realized people were taking advantage of me. So I did have to create a boundary of, if you want 5 minutes of my time to pick my brain, you got to buy me a cup of coffee and here's the link for it, So I started saying, okay, I'll give you 15 minutes for the cup of coffee. At that 15 minutes, we either end it or you buy me another cup because I know what people are picking my brain to use my HR knowledge or recruiting knowledge or compliance for their business. That's usually people pay for that kind of service. So having that boundary is so important, but also remembering that you're going to have conflict in life. And that's why we have people out there to seek guidance from sometimes, because we can get emotional. We can get so emotional and it's so easy to. A beautiful, amazing daughter that is just so much smarter than I was and even my son, they both are smarter than I was at their age. And she's sitting there talking to us about seeking guidance and help when she needs to, reminding us to do it, and that's something that at 24 or 26, I was not talking that way. So I think there's a lot of positive hope for the future generations because they're smarter than we were. But here's the thing that I took away from that conversation with my daughter when we're talking about seeking guidance is remembering that when that conflict arises, two things about boundaries. One, you got to tell people that you have the boundary. Boundaries are not tangible and visible. They are invisible. Until you tell them there's a boundary, they're going to cross all over it. So you got to tell them, hey, I don't like talking about thunderstorms because it triggers a bad experience when I was a little kid, whatever the reason. And, you know, honestly, sometimes you don't have to give a reason. If it's a really strange boundary, you might want to explain why to help people understand. But at the end of the day, that's important to communicate. The other part is, guess what? Even when you do communicate it, people are still going to cross it. And that's where, when you seek guidance from somebody, a third party outside, and you share this frustrating experience that really got you upset or whatever it might be, or maybe it's a frustration with a client, a friend, whatever it is, a third person outside can look at it and share a fresh perspective without being emotional about it because they're not involved. And you need that guidance sometimes, because I've learned, I come from a very strong, hot-tempered Latino family. Let me just tell you, growing up, we didn't talk about our issues. We yelled and screamed about our issues at each other. That's how we grew up. My wife asked if we could not do that with our kids, and thank God we haven't. But what I learned over the years was this, and I'll leave it with this. When you have that conflict, it's so easy for us to imagine the worst things about the other person or the client or their ulterior motive that might or might not be there. At the end of the day, and I just should talk about this with my wife this morning, so it's ironic that's coming up, is let's hear what people are saying. And if we have an issue, let's call them and talk to them. Pick up the phone, not text them, not video, video chat's okay. But let's have that conversation, because that's going to clear up so much. But a lot of people in this world are afraid of confrontation. Confrontation doesn't have to be ugly unless you make it ugly. I had a problem with a cousin. I confronted him and said, I don't appreciate that behavior when you're in my house. I really ask you don't do that again, because that was really uncomfortable for a lot of people. A lot of people don't even want to have that simple of a conversation. But those are the things that, if you want your boundaries respected, you got to be willing to talk about them. So when you get to that point where you feel like you're ready to not be in control as much as you could be, that's when it's good to pause and go out and reach out and seek that guidance. Because I have people that I reach out to that I know are going to tell me when I'm wrong. I don't need the cheerleaders to say, no, stand up for yourself. Do it. They don't even know what I'm standing up for before I even told them. They're like, no, stand up for yourself. I'm like, hold up. I haven't told you what the issue was. So I think it's important for you to get that feedback from people that are willing to tell you that you may have been wrong. So with that, I'm going to pass it back to Max, since he's back online and away from the chat. Thank you for joining us back up here.
Trying to multitask over here. Thanks, Felipe. Got all these pop-ups that are blocking me from hitting the unmute button, but it's all good. This is a really, really important thing to think about. And I love what you said there, Felipe, about the boundaries side of things, because I remember a few years ago sitting there thinking, oh man, why do people like do what they do? And somebody went and said to me, have you told them not to, or to do otherwise? Have you given them any instructions? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, people should just know, because that's how we assume that we've all walked the same path. And the reality is, not one of us, each one of our journeys is as unique as our DNA. And when we realize that unless we actually put those boundaries out there, how are we can't be offended when somebody takes your time because you offered it, and then goes on to take more and more and more of your time because you haven't set any expectations. So when it comes to why successful people seek guidance, even those successful people that seek guidance respect the time of those people that they're seeking guidance from. And it's so important, in order for you to get the right help and get the attention of the right people, it is so important to make sure that you respect the time of the people you're asking from. And that's one of the most important lessons I've learned, is when you respect that and take action. If you're asking somebody for advice and then you don't do anything with it, that is almost disrespectful in itself. It doesn't mean necessarily it's right, but at least acknowledge the feedback that has been given to you, appreciate the time, and also remember, it's just like professional sports people. There are some people that are incredible at a sport, but that doesn't make them necessarily a good coach or leader. And therefore, you are not necessarily always going to find the right person the first time. And it's okay to ask different people and find that person, but be careful of finding somebody who only responds with the answers you want to hear, because that is more dangerous than anything else. If you want to grow, you've got to be uncomfortable. So that's all I've got to say for now. Felipe, I'm going to hand the mic back to you because I know you want to carry on here.
No, I just wanted to make, because you made a great point, and I think that again, there's situations where you don't want the cheerleader, you want the coach to give you the honest feedback, and that's the part that I think a lot of people are scared to hear the honest truth. And look, sometimes we don't want to hear it, but if we really want that success, we need to hear what we can do better. Like, that's always been my mindset of, when I got feedback, it was, oh, this is how I can do it better, not how I did it wrong. And that's an important mindset in life, is don't look at it as, oh, this is what I did wrong. It's, oh, this is how I can do it better. It's just like when we go through crisis, it's not, don't think about why me, it's, okay, what's next? Get back on the horse, what am I going to do? But sometimes we need that guidance to help us get back on that horse. And so I just encourage people to do it. And what I wanted to share was, to your point, is when you get that guidance, write it down, because you're more likely to remember it, and you're more likely to take action, like Max said. That is a stat that has been proven time and time again. And it's something that I should be taught in school so people remember it throughout their life. But it is something that once you get that guidance, write it down, and then use it to take action. Give it back to you, Max. I know we have a bunch of people on stage, and I'm looking forward to hearing from them.
Awesome stuff. Well, we've got a few people that have been waiting.
Before you do launch in, Felipe, your idea of buying a coffee every time someone wants to chat to you is fantastic. I must try that. I must really try that.
Yeah, I think it's so important to protect your time, and it's so easy to just give and realize that you're not protecting your own energy and yourself as well. So let us know how that goes. But I think have a chat to Felipe to find the finer details on how he manages that, because I'm sure he's not using that to send it to family members who want to book in time. Although thinking anyway, my friend Mr. Liverpool, welcome to the chat. What are your thoughts on this topic? And what, anything you want to add, or potentially a question that you want to ask?
Did David was on stage first?
Was David on stage first? It's your fighter jet that makes it look like you've been on here the whole time. I will go to David and then come back to you, Mr. Liverpool. You are such a kind man. Mr. Pushkin, the voice of the radio and our wonderful, there's too many superlatives for you, my friend. So over to you. What are your thoughts? What are your comments? What are your advice on this?
That's very kind of you, Gregory. Thank you. Quick intro for those who do not know me. David Pushkin, public sector leader with over 20 years experience. That's my 9 to 5. I'm also your chief encouragement officer and, lover of all things accessibility. I mean, it's a great topic, Zion. it's if you want to grow, you need to have people around you who are going to help you grow. And if you're was it the phrase goes, if you're the smartest person in the room, get into another room. It's all about kind of pushing yourself forward. And as you were saying, Mac, not having yes people, because if everybody tells you the answer that you want to hear, you won't grow. And sometimes that's going to be uncomfortable. I was in Melissa's live earlier and I put a comment in there, around, when a caterpillar turns into a butterfly, and that's the metamorphosis of that. It's the same thing. If you want to kind of improve, there will be a slight amount of pain, either a comment that you do not want to hear, something that you need to master, something new. But when you get there, you will then get there, and things will go as they want to be. Like I said, if you don't try new things, if you don't fail, then you can't get back up. And it's very important to have those people in the room with you who are going to kind of push you forward and are always going to be there for you. Again, we were talking about accountability earlier. That's super important. And if you don't understand something, just don't be afraid to say it. I was in a room with somebody and they said the three most powerful words, somebody could say, especially within leaders, is I don't know, but I'm going to find the answer. So I'll yield it there. Everybody stay encouraged. Happy Saturday all.
David, I've got to reflect on that, what you've just said there. I mean, I come from a sales and marketing background, and one of the things that frustrated me over decades was when people would give you an answer and just try and make something up on the fly. And when people responded with that, hey, I really don't know, but let me find out and get back to you, that almost immediately built that trust. And hey, okay, it's not something that people often acknowledge, and it's so important to be able to do that. And on the flip side, the people that get people approaching them to be mentors or to give guidance, we also have that responsibility and that duty of care to ensure that when we are speaking to people, we don't just assume or make stuff up, or pull on a piece of advice that we haven't really vetted ourselves. So I just wanted to kind of drop that in there. But David, thank you so much. That's brought a lot of important things that go for it, Felipe.
It's one of the things where, that part there that you just shared is so valuable, because there's so many times when we aren't, what's the word I'm thinking of now? It's escaping me. Oh my God. All right. You know what? My train of thought just went out the window right now. So it just started raining and I started getting wet. So in the background, it's raining right now. So I got distracted there, but it'll come back. I'll join back in.
There we go. Well, thank you so much, David, for sharing. And Felipe, when that rain grows that seed and it's back, let us know. Gregory, before we go to William, who's joined us.
No. Go to William.
No. You're in the fighter jet. You're in the cockpit.
No. Go to William. Go to William.
Seriously, you're just sitting
go
back today going, hey, I'm just here for the ride.
Go to William. Don't worry. Go to William.
My friend.
I'm okay. Go to William.
Good stuff. William, welcome to the stage. What are your thoughts, contributions, questions? So good to have you here.
Why, thank you. Can you guys hear me? Good. A couple of things. I thoroughly believe in therapy and coaching. Therapy has always been a problem for myself because I've always thought I was smarter than my therapist. So you have to find that therapist that really, really gets you. Because some people just repeat book stuff as opposed to understanding what you're saying, and you leave out feeling empty. A really good therapist leaves you with things to do, homework, things to think about. Coaching, same. Now, in regards to coaches, I believe that we need to have grace with them as the coachee. I don't know what you call it, because the coach is only as good as the reality that person that's seeking coaching is. So if I go to a coach, but I'm not really mentally ready to do the work, then that's not on the coach, that's on the person. And at a certain point, we have to start taking accountability for ourselves. So we can pay as much money as we want to every therapist in the world, to every coach in the world. But if we're not putting in the work, then it's on us. I'll leave you guys with this. I had a trainer once when I was younger, and he told me 10 more reps. And I said, I'm paying you, you do the 10 more reps. I was done. I was like, I cannot do 10 more reps. And why am I paying for this hell? I wasn't ready. I didn't want to do it. And my body still looks like this. But other people went to the exact same coach and came out ripped. You know, it's just like, I didn't want to be pushed anymore. So you have to understand, what is it that you want to get out of this when you go in? And are you ready for that commitment? And I am really upset that Felipe has not said anything about my hairpiece.
Dude, you look different and change your look every time I see you. So you no longer surprise me. If Mac wore that hairpiece, I would have questioned it. But you are always showing up with a unique William Rochelle look. So you really don't shock me anymore. I mean, you could be wearing a fedora, a fur coat, and diamonds, and it still wouldn't shock me.
Right? It's a hat. I love it. I think it makes me look kind of trendy and cool, like a skater guy. All right, guys. That's it.
He looks the piece.
Thank you for listening. I hope I contributed something.
Well, if I could just add one thing here,
Yes,
since you've already called me up about the hair, so I did remember the other thing I said I was thinking the point of saying I don't know, and I think that is something that it's important for us to say it to ourselves, saying I don't know, and be curious and go find out. But I had a divisional director of HR early in my career, and he started asking all these questions of all of us. And when I said I don't know, everyone looked at me, and I said, but I can find out. He goes, that's the important part, right there. That's fine that you don't know, but that you're willing to go find out. That's the key, and that's where I think a good coach, like Bill was just saying right now, is going to push you, give you homework. The coaches, I coach people to not need me. I have some people that stay with me over the years as a check-in coach, and that's great. I love those long-term relationships. I value those, but I'm teaching them to fish. I'm not giving them the fish. So when I'm on a coaching call with somebody, I'm saying, here, we're going to learn on the call how to do this, and now here's your homework. Not, this is what you need to do, this is how you do it, blah, blah, blah. Here's an instruction sheet. No, we're going to do it together, because I learned a long time of a show, tell, do, review mindset. Show them how to do it, tell them how to do it, have them do it, and review it is important. So I really think that finding the right coach that fits you. Now, there might be some phenomenal coaches. People might recommend me, and you like, no, his voice irritates me. That's fine. Find someone who doesn't irritate you. It's okay. I'm not going to take offense to it, because sometimes my voice irritates my wife sometimes. Whenever I try to speak with a Southern accent, she's like, please don't do that. It is the biggest turnoff. I'm like, okay. So with that being said, listen to your coaches and listen to your wives. Over to you, Mac.
Yeah, I just want to kind of echo what William said there about the that example of the coach asking you to do another 10, and then that same coach working with somebody else and getting amazing results. Because I've been down that road where I was seeking help, but I wasn't ready for the help. And that is such a big distinction, because we go out there, we know the stuff that we want and where we want to be. But it's like that whole distinction of, and I've spoken about this before, the whole be, do, have concept. And that be, do, have concept, if you want to be an Olympic athlete, in your mind what it takes to be an Olympic athlete. You need to wake up early. You need to do the training. You need to put in the work. And when a McDonald's sign comes past, it's a immediate, yeah, well, that's a no-brainer. I don't go into McDonald's. But if the McDonald's sign is pulling you harder than the training and the outcome of being that Olympic athlete, then you're not fully committed. You're not all in to the outcome that you want to have. And no coach is going to be able to get you past that if you're not accountable yourself. And I think that message, Bills, is so important. Batting it back to you.
Yeah. I just want to step in really quick. Is that all right with everybody? Is that okay? Also, like, educating yourselves, like that part with accountability, because doing your own research, finding out the facts. Don't just believe what's being shared, because sometimes there's a lot of false information that's being shared too. I think that's something that I'm learning as well now that I'm back in school, is researching and understanding and sharing the knowledge with supporting factual resources. Where am I getting this information from? So I just wanted to share that. Okay, I'll pass it back over.
I've just got to drop that one saying in that relates to this: trust, but verify.
Absolutely. And I think that's so important that you brought that up, Martha, because there are a lot of people. I mean, we joke around about, TikTok giving advice, and some of it is good, but for every good bit of advice, there's a really bad piece of advice. It pains me when people are like, do this when you apply and it'll work. Lie and put a fake job on there that you have. I'm like, no. Why would you lie on your resume? But so research, to your point. The other thing also is, if there's someone out there credible offering free help, don't take it lightly. And I say that because my stats have proven the 8 years that I offered free services compared to the last 5 years that I've been offering paid services, the people who pay do the work so much more and invest much more time. The people who get it for free, they half-ass it. Let's call a spade a spade. And that's where I'm saying that, because if you get an opportunity to get some free advice and help, don't take it for granted. Write it down and use it, because at some point, guess what? That person's going to start charging for it. And that's the stuff that pains me when I see that those free opportunities, people are not getting advantage of it. Even with the apps. Oh my God, with the apps for free, and I'm like, let me use it before they start charging, because I know they're going to start charging, and eventually they do. So just make sure that you are taking those opportunities that do come up to you, and like Max says, trust but verify. Melissa just said it. Inspect what you expect. I'll leave it at that. Over to you, Mac.
William, you wanted to chime in there, my friend?
I did, and I'm old, and I think I might have forgotten what I want to say, but I will say this. In regards to what Felipe said, I agree that people, when they pay for something, will put more dedication behind it. But I also believe that it depends on the person. I've gotten free coaching before, and the coaching was phenomenal. The work I put in was great, but timing is everything. And I allowed something to insert themselves into my timing that disrupted my flow. I disrupted my flow because I cannot blame anyone else but me. Okay. And it kind of threw that coaching off, but I'm still applying those same things today. So was it a success? I think so. I think so. Did I get a setback? Absolutely. And just like any other setback in life, we need to take that, digest it, and forgive ourselves and move forward. But that's not what I was going to say, Matt. I don't remember what I was going to say, but it was going to be powerful.
I have no doubt. I have no doubt. Wow, we've got loads of different people that have joined us as well. Thank you, everybody who have joined us from all over the place in the comments as well. If you want to come up, we've got 10 minutes left, so let's make it count. Zion, I'm going to pass the mic back to you, my friend. This is your topic. Let's see where we roll. And I know Gregory is still deciding whether he wants to get out of the cockpit and join us, but we'll see.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Mark. And I tell you, it's been so insightful so far, and getting to hear from different perspectives. And I love I think Melissa dropped it. Yes, trust but verify is a bragant and screen and slogan, which is very, very important. Verification is key. And Mr. William, thank you so much for always coming in with your agent. It's always amazing to see you show and be here with us. Thank you, Martha, Felipe, and David, and for all the contributions we've had thus far. And if there's anyone you still want to join us, we have 8 minutes now. It's not 8 minutes. You want to be part of the conversation, feel free. We really love you to join in here and share your thoughts. Now, the beautiful thing, like I said earlier, is different perspective, different experience, people sharing their own path, what they've seen, what they've experienced in their life, just to inspire others so that other people can learn from their experience. That's what we do. And so it's been a wonderful conversation. So, Mr. Gregory, are you ready to jump in? All right, sounds good. The man that we're waiting for.
Yeah, long time no talk, Zion. Where have you been basically for like probably 4 or 5 months plus minimum, basically. So anyway, 6-year HR professional from again, steamy Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. It's 31 degrees outside today. So we are back into the heat dome for the weekend, basically. Just wanted to say thank you to everybody who submitted a happy birthday greeting to me this past Wednesday, Thursday, and there's some trickles in on the Friday. Turned the double 4 on the Wednesday. Yes, yeah. So that's my age. So if you guessed the under, congratulations. You should be going to Las Vegas, Nevada. In regards to this topic of du jour, this is, and I put in the comments that this is basically, I will say, kind of like the Achilles heel of the whole HR community in regards to getting guidance. The reason of that being is that I will say a lot of HR professionals has basically a holier than thou type of mentality and attitudes, and this is coming from your HR Maverick Canary, and I'm going to say to Felipe, it is again, read the book. I'm just going to leave that out there in terms of the canary portion of the tagline. But the thing is that we as HR professionals need to seek guidance to people who have walked those walks and talked those talks in regards to the trials, tribulations, in regards to equity. Thank you very much for the happy birthday greeting, Melissa Houston from the state of Washington, as well as Joe from Tampa, Fire the Cannons. We need to have those types of conversations of people who have lived life experience on the other side of the table in regards to equity in terms of equity recruiting practices and procedures, because this is going to become, with the abundance of AI, this is going to really cause a lot of societal and career harm to a lot of people, especially to racialized and to to disability people. Case in point, because of two things that happened this week. One, Anthropic CEO basically said that we need to put the pause on AI production in terms of it could do societal harms. And number two, too bad that my fellow Canadian, Tom Cullen, left us today. But here in Canada, we basically, our Prime Minister set out a AI strategy that was virtually, I will say, probably very hollow. No talk about regulations, governance in regards to that nature. He wants businesses to fully adopt AI because businesses in Canada has adopted AI to the tune of 12%. He wants to increase that to 60%, probably by 2030, 2035, or 2040, which means it will be basically the wild, wild west in regards to AI. And they should have basically consulted Canadians of all different types of strife in regards to getting a fair and equitable AI strategy in regards to my home and native land. Because yet again, this is going to become a very major issue in terms of HR, and HR and people need to seek guidance in regards to not only HR types of interacting with the disability community, which is sorely underrepresented to the point that there's only 46.2% people in this working disabled people working. Thank you, and Andre, for the birthday greetings. In regards to working in Canada per se, and we are 8 million strong, but the thing is, a lot of people need to find their own guidance in regards to the whole AI phenomenon, basically, for sure, making sure that it is fair and stuff in a type of way, as well as the Pope said some stuff on the topic du jour. So since it's 2 minutes, thank you, Kenneth, for another birthday greeting. I'll yield the floor to your wrap up, basically. So thank you.
Mac, you're on mute. We can't hear you.
I think everybody's on mute.
Yeah.
Talking away over there to Gregory. Gregory, thank you for sharing that. And yes, I think the world of AI, especially in seeking guidance, because one of the things that a lot of people are doing now is they'll go to AI and take whatever AI says as gospel. And we need to remember that AI is still, it still hallucinates. And again, it depends on what sources it's looking at for the answers. And unless you are prompting it very accurately and giving it the right instructions, it's not necessarily going to be the best answer. In fact, I did an exercise because the World Cup, as we know, is about to start. A good friend of mine,
Canada, England, Spain, and Brazil. That's all I have to say.
I did a little exercise this morning because a friend of mine, John Asperian, did a post about the group stages. So I decided I was going to go and ask all the different AI agents based on all the teams who was going to get out of the group stages, who their top four are, who they recommend, which one based on their predictions. And I asked exactly the same question to each one of them to make sure there was no kind of gray area there. And it's interesting. The predictions were pretty strong across the board on who was going to win. But each one of them had a different top four, either one or two. And then they put in a little caveat as to who they think may get in there. But I find that quite interesting with the fact that, you could go to it's like going to a different coach and getting a different answer and a different piece of guidance. That old question of be careful what you ask for. I think we are definitely going to be doing a topic around AI. I know, I think Felipe, you recommended that as well. So maybe next week we need to touch base on that one. But I'm conscious we have hit the top of the hour. Let's do a quick wrap up. Thank you so much, everybody. This is, Zion, a really great topic.
I had a friend of my network who did that type of thing, figuring out who is going to win the NCAA men's college basketball championship tournament for March Madness / Mayhem. Someone in my network did that, and I said to him, I always go by the eye test of which team is good, which team is bad, because you never know. There could be some type of weird algorithm junk science and spitting you results. For example, if an AI algorithm is spitting out that Qatar or Bosnia and Herzegovina is going to win the World Cup, I'm going to be severely questioning the efficacy of that AI tool, basically. So yeah.
Oh no, I'm not on mute. I was just looking for the mute button. Yeah, we always have to question, and as a lot of people are saying, there's so many different AI tools, and we have to be careful on the measures that we trust them with, because that whole human nature is not taken into account. I could change my mind in the last second whether I am gonna get involved or not. So anything can happen right up until the last minute, and AI is never going to be 100% accurate, but it is a great tool. So use it as a tool, not as a replacement for yourself or for a good coach. Life experience is way more powerful than what a lot of AI can produce. So on that note, I want to go around. I'm going to, in fact, go to Zion first. Zion, if you're there, just to do your kind of final wrap up. Where can people see you during this week? What's happening in your world, and any final thoughts on today's topic?
Yes, it's been a powerful conversation thus far, and for me, I really learned a lot. I'm looking forward to apply your wisdom, the deep insight you shared, and I also know that there are hundreds of persons who are going to be watching the replay or have joined us live. We're going to be taking some great insight from what we shared today. For me, my name is Zani Nogero. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn, and I'm always reachable in my DMs and also in my posts. I host my positivity event every Friday, which is 7 p.m. West African time, 2 p.m. Eastern time zone. And it's always an empowering conversation that is centered on the value of positivity. So I'm looking forward to having you join us, and I will be sending the link on the group just for persons to get to see it and join us every Friday. So for me, that's that for the conversation, and I'm looking forward to the next week's conversation as well. And I'm very excited to be back, and I'm looking forward to be back again and again and again, so that we can be able to, have engaging conversation and be able to spread more positivity together. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here. We appreciate you, and I'll pass the mic to Felipe so we can also do his last step for the conversation.
Well, Zion, it's so great to have you back. I'm so glad you made it back, and I look forward to having you in the future weeks. For me, final thoughts. Look, any coach worth their weight is going to push you to achieve the goals that you want, not their goals. But if they're not pushing you, they might have a ulterior motive of dragging out how much you're paying them to make it longer. So keep that in mind. So you want someone that pushes you and holds you accountable. That's the time of a good coach. And I hope that people, whether it's free, you have a mentor, whoever, seek that guidance because we all need it. Gregory, I did read the Canary in the Coal Mine book. Yes, I see the analogy of the early warning signs. However, I still stand my ground of I don't like the analogy because the canary died in the coal mine as one of the early warning signs. So I think there's other, you could have an alarm system, a lot of other warning signs than someone having to die. I'm an HR person not willing to die for my company. I am sorry. My kids, family, maybe, yeah, sure, absolutely, but not my company. I'm sorry. So let's find a different canary, a different analogy for the canary because the concept was spot on. As far as what I have coming up right now, on Monday, if this resonates with you, we're going to be talking about acquired neurodiversity. For those people that, a lot of people have been born with it. We talked about autism and ADHD and a lot of the ones that are commonly talked about, but there is a lot of people that acquire it because they had a brain injury or traumatic accidents or a stroke. And these are things that have caused people to have acquired it much later in life than most people. This is not for the people that didn't know they had it. This is when they didn't have it and they acquired it. And we're going to have Marion Spears-Carr, who's a healthcare executive who has firsthand experience about this, actually, talk about that. So we'll be interviewing him on Monday at 8 p.m. Here on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Substack. So join us for the Workplace Wellness Hour. And then on that following Saturday, Sunday, I do have the Careers, Chaos, and Coaching with Melissa Houston. And of course, this Saturday, I'll be back with an amazing crew for another amazing topic. And we look forward to having all of you all here. We give Mac topics on a regular basis, but we love it when you all give us topics too. So keep on giving us the topics because we want to make sure that we are providing valuable, relevant information for you all. And lastly, one last favor. Follow us on the LinkedIn homepage for the Social Saturday chat. And if you haven't had a chance to, hit that little bell to make you get notified of all the events we do. And one selfish plug, if you're following us on YouTube, I would love anyone to subscribe to my YouTube channel because I am trying to grow that as well. So I always appreciate when anyone subscribes to my YouTube. It is just at Felipe Capino, very easy. So thank you, Mac. And Martha, what's going on with you? What do you have coming up?
Thank you. Yeah, so for me this week, I'll be back at the hospital. My grandpa's still in the hospital. Thank God he's at ICU, but we're still dealing with other things now. So I'll be spending some time there and, of course, doing my advocacy work through Connect Impact Hub. I wanted to also mention actions. As we know, when we're working with someone, whether it's a free service or maybe we got a coach or a mentor, it really is ultimately up to the person that's seeking that support, like it was mentioned earlier, to take those steps. And I know I've seen cases where people want guidance, where people want hand-holding, but we have to eventually let go because we as educators, mentors, advocates, we can't hold their hand forever, which I would love to, but we have to let them go. We got to just teach them the skills and then they just got to go, and hopefully they'll go out and spread their wings and guide somebody else. You never know. This week, we are hosting, me and Paulette, we started a new series called People Helping People. Everyone's welcome to join. And if you'd like to come and be part of the conversation, let me know. We'll share the link to come and join us on stage. We're basically bringing in real topics, real life experiences. We'll be welcoming speakers that may have lived experience or maybe they're in nonprofit sectors that are helping people in need. Please connect with us. We will be picking topics and it's going to be a nice warm space to be part of. And it's not just on a national level, it's on an international level as well. Thank you so much. I'm going to pass it over to Joel.
Right, so this week I've actually got my next episode of Fighting for the Right to Party on Wednesday. Wednesday the 10th. I had to remember what day it was at that point. And that is at 7 o'clock with Tony Gianelli from Music Legacy International. And for those of you who don't know Tony, come along and see him live, or look him up and stalk him on various platforms as well. But also, I am heavily promoting my band's first album, so feel free to check that out. I believe at least some of you have the link to it. To those of you who do, don't think I want to switch my screen to LinkedIn. So please do drop it in the comments. Otherwise, my computer will do something unexpected, like crash. So we don't want that to happen. But other than that, I will see you all next Saturday, and I'm out. Mac? You are on mute. Mute.
How many times must I do that? I tell you what, folks, it can. If I could do this, anybody can get on stage. Anyway, as I was saying, thank you so much all for the wonderful contributions to today's conversation. For those of you that have joined us up on stage and took the time, we really appreciate it. And those of you that were commenting, wanting to be on stage, come and join us next week. And take that courage, take that little bit of courage to click on the link and come up on stage and just say hi. Even if you literally just come up and say hi, you don't even have to turn your camera on. We'd love to have you here and see where that conversation goes. Please invite other people to come and follow our page and come and join the conversations. We are looking at growing our team over the next few months as well. So I don't put too much pressure on these wonderful people over here because they always, they keep us going, and they've been the pillar of this Social Saturday chat for hundreds of conversations, literally hundreds of conversations, and I can't be more grateful than I already am. They're just incredible people. And for me this week, I'm focusing on some big launches for some clients and collaborations that I'm working on, which I'm very excited about. I've become a lot more involved in tech and development stuff that I never even thought, but because of my past in putting things like processes and systems together, it's been a fascinating experience. And we finally last week had the Moco growth app for LinkedIn that I have been working on for months go live. And as I said, for our community over here, if you want 2 months free, just message me. I'll send you the link. You don't have to join up and commit right in the beginning. I want you to get results. Just for those of you that are neurodiverse like myself, I had a client sit with me last week who went through everything, and he kept going, Mac, I love your app, but I keep forgetting what did I do last time? What do I have to do this time? So we spent over 13 hours with him and a few other people developing the kind of GUI that goes into the app, so that when you go in and you go to the dashboard, it says, hey, Mac, welcome. This is what you need to do. So now you just go in and follow the actions. So it will tell you what is due to do today or next week or in the last quarter or the last month, so that you're focusing on activities that are really got return on investment in mind, as opposed to just spending a lot of busy time on LinkedIn. I'm sure many people can relate to that. So please go and check it out, try it. Any feedback, please, because it's there to help you. It's not there to help me. Otherwise, it'd probably have to be a lot more detailed, because very special mind. Anyway, I thank you all. I look forward to seeing you all next Saturday. Please go and be kind. Go and do something kind for somebody out there. Small acts of kindness, and just be good to yourselves. Because remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. So with that, thank you, everybody. I wish you all an amazing week ahead.
Adios, everyone.